You are now watching the Do It On Purpose podcast. So let me start by asking a question. If you had the opportunity to change or create a better lifestyle for yourself, what would that look like? If you had to take pieces out and put pieces in, if you had to get education to elevate yourself, what would that look like? Jeez, I feel like I need to be that song with Drake. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, no copyright issues, but I feel like that's the starting that I needed to come out with. Hard, like anyways, let me get straight to it, man. I'm so happy that all of you are here to be a part of this podcast, to listen, to share, to subscribe, whatever, man. I'm I'm excited that you're here. And really, I just wanted to say, you know what, this podcast is not about me. This podcast is about you, right? Like, it's about you getting to the place that you need to be. It's about me understanding who you are. It's about me understanding how to help other people, right? So I just wanted to say, shout out to you for being here because this podcast is about you. So go ahead, give yourself a pat on the back. Pat yourself on the back. Pat yourself on the back. Do you hear my pats? Anyways, but let's get straight into it, man. Like I wanted to just drop this first episode to kind of give you an idea, give everyone an idea of what this podcast is about, and truly why do it on purpose, right? When you think about purpose, you think about being intentional. When you think about purpose, you think about the reason that something is created, right? That's what the definition of purpose is. And, you know, my question to you initially in the beginning was if you had an opportunity to change things for your life, what would it be? So the reason I asked that question is because most of us are living a lifestyle that is completely out of purpose, right? It's completely out of reason. We're just doing it just to simply do it. Um, I can raise my hand for being a person that has been a part of a 9 to 5 job that made me feel absolutely unfulfilled. And guess what? Some of you are in 9 to 5 jobs right now and you feel extremely underappreciated, undervalued. You might even feel overwhelmed with the amount of work that you've taken on. Let's not mention the fact that we just dealt with a pandemic for the last year, and some countries are still in a lockdown, right? So a lot of our lifestyles have changed in the last year, and we're living out of purpose. Some of us have lost our jobs. And so, back to my question in the beginning, and now this is for the people who are jobless. This is for the people who their lives have been affected in the last 12 months because of COVID-19. So, right now, if you had the opportunity to go out there and go get something to make your lifestyle better than it is right now, what would it be? I'm giving you a minute because honestly, like this isn't something that you could go outside to the store and pick up, or this isn't something that we often get off the top of our heads. So for me, let's talk about purpose. For me, I've been on this journey of purpose for such a long time. There was a point where I started to feel like I needed more, right? More than what I was already getting. I wasn't comfortable with the answers that I was getting to the questions that I was asking. So I started, instead of asking the questions of how to get more money or how to be comfortable or how to get a high paying job, I started to look within. I started to look at the things that started making me happy. And for me, honestly, I like to serve. I like to help people. It sounds cliche, right? I want to change the world. But for me, that really is what it is. I want to change the world. And for some of you, it could be the very same thing. Some of you want to change the world too, but you don't know how to do it. And that's what this podcast is about. This podcast is about being freaking intentional. And the way I see it is going back to the last year of life. What do we have an excuse for? Our jobs are laying us off left, right, and center. The economy is crashing. Like, if I can't depend on my job to say, yo, pull up, come work, then who am I going to depend on? The only other person is me. I gotta say, yo, Chantelle, what's good? How do we make bread today? I have a daughter. Like, how am I going to feed her? So the point of what I'm trying to say is we got to go out there and we got to go get it ourselves. It's clear that we can't depend on the system. That is clear. The system is failing people every single day. Right? Like, and I'm not trying to say I'm a conspiracy theorist or anything like that. But what I am saying is we're in the digital age where everything is done on the internet. And our last year has shown us that. We can now shop, get a degree, get food, order clothes, everything you need at the touch of a click of a button. You actually don't physically need to be anywhere to get anything anymore. I actually was just reading that Amazon is doing a trial run for prescriptions. Soon, Amazon is going to be able to sell you your prescriptions, which means you don't even have to go check Shoppers Drug Mart. You don't have to go check Rexall. You don't have to go check any of those small mom and pop shops. Everything is becoming so much easier on the internet, which means there is an elimination of jobs that is taking place, right? So if there's an elimination of jobs, how do you and I eat? What can I do to, safeguard my family, safeguard myself, safeguard my sanity, right? Because when you lose a job and you have responsibility, everything starts to fall and crumble, right? So I'm trying to beat that, to be honest. I'm trying to start this, but not only that, I've always wanted to depend on myself. I've always wanted to eat off my own work, And guess what? Some of y'all are probably thinking the same thing. Probably thinking, is it possible that, someone would ever purchase something from me? Would they like this outfit? Would they think this is cool? But my thing to you is this. If we sit down and ask ourselves these questions, these what ifs, things will never get done. As far as this podcast goes, I've been trying to start this podcast since September of last year. But things kept getting in the way, right? So if I were to put all of the cards that are quote unquote stacked against me, I wouldn't have been able to start this podcast, right? Because if I was thinking of along the lines of, man, you know what? I stutter and people are going to be like, that's not clear. And people are going to be like, that you didn't do that in one shot, or it sounded like this. I'm probably going all over the place. That's one thing I also have to work on. It's keeping my thoughts in place. So when I speak, I don't feel like I've lost my previous thought, right? But these are all things that are going to come with practice. And for you too, man, what is your heart desire? What is it that you want? It's going to come, but you got to start something. And if you need my support, then I will support you, whoever you are. And for the people that I said before that don't know me, I'll tell you this right now. I want you to win. I want you to do well. I'm smart enough to know that there's enough money for us all to eat. And I don't mean just like eating a little combo. I mean like steak, lobster, pasta. Shoot, throw some garlic bread in there. I mean, like we could all eat good. We don't have to treat each other as if we don't want to see each other do well. Honestly, again, we're talking about purpose. We're talking about why do it on purpose. And do it on purpose is about being unapologetically you and being intentional about every single move that you make. Don't apologize for who you are. Don't apologize for your gift. Go out there and you serve. You serve the people. And one thing that I'll also throw in real quick is that your gift is not for you. The thing that you're good at, it's not for you, it's for other people. I'm talking about so many different things right now. We're just trying to talk about purpose. But honestly, I'm so happy you guys were here to sit in on episode 1 of the Do It On Purpose podcast. I just want to encourage you all to try something. If you can, you've got time. Many of us are at home. Try something new this week. And when you try it, the feeling that you feel inside of fear, after that feeling of fear enters your body and your mind, remind yourself that fear is a part of the process. If you weren't afraid to do something new, I'd be like, what's wrong with you? So don't forget to be intentional about everything you do this week. And one thing I want to throw in as well is honestly, like, man, just love yourself. Love yourself because can't nobody love you better than you can love you. Love yourself, be yourself intentionally, and work on yourself intentionally. Hey, if you enjoyed this week's episode, go ahead and subscribe to the Do It On Purpose podcast so you will not miss an episode. Click the follow button. Also, find us on Instagram at Do It On Purpose 1. You can also click over on Facebook. You can find us at Do It On Purpose with Chantelle.